sucker.
This is Red Steel on the Wii. So the Nintendo Wii Evolution was released in 2006 with plenty of launch titles, including Avatar, The Last Airbender, Barnyard, Call of Duty 3, Cars, Dragon Ball Z Bukodai, Tenkaichi 2, Excite Truck,
GT Pro Series, Happy Feet, Madden NFL 07, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Metal Slug, Anthology, Monster 4x4 World Circuit, Need for Speed Carbon, Open Season, Rapala, Tournament Fishing, Rayman, Rabbit, Red Seal.
Sure, SpongeBob, there's a lot of them. So you got your kiddly-wink titles for babies, such as Rayman Rabbits and SpongeBob and Call of Duty 3. Or you've got the games made for men, like I was in 2006.
Children get older, not getting older too.
With guns, and women, and cars, such as Cars and Need for Speed Carbon, as well as Red Steel. Man, I remember when it was first announced. I remember the trailers and the mags. That's what cool people called magazines back in the day.
No.
It offered a realistic first-person shooter with motion controls, so you felt like you were in the action and you could use your sword, the Wii remote, as your sword. It was cool looking. I never actually played it back in 2006, but I was always curious about it. And it got kind of meh reviews, which kind of put me off. And in general, it seemed to be an overhyped disappointment, which is odd because it's a Ubisoft game. You play as Scott, an American in Japan, and you're meeting your future father-in-law, Isao Sato. And right now you're waiting with your fiance in the hotel as she shows you her fish. And being a good fiance, you have to pretend you're interested.
Oh, look at these fish, Scott. Aren't they pretty?
No. So eventually, after looking at fish, you're taken up into the hotel room and you meet your future father-in-law, Isao, and you're introduced to his bodyguard, Ryuichi. And you find out that Ryuichi is going to betray Isao and kidnap him and your fiance, and you have to go and save them. Eventually, you're embroiled in a story about gangs and geishas. As you might have guessed, the main gameplay is a first-person shooter using the Wii remote. A lot of people are untrusting of the Wii motion controls, which is understandable, especially in these early games. And since this is a launch title, you can't get more earlier than this. But for a launch title and for an early game using motion controls on the Wii, I didn't have that much trouble with the motion controls, and that was surprising to me. I thought I was going to have a lot more trouble. I feel like the game wants you to play with your arm extended like this, because I tried playing it like this, just relaxed, but the Wii remote sometimes goes out of sync and it kind of does this glitchy thing where it stops tracking and then comes back and it kind of loses sight of the Wii remote. So I think you have to be doing this, which is, it gets sore after a while if you're as unfit as me. So you lock on to the enemies using the A button and you have to zoom in doing that. You have to push your arm even forward, but I was already extending my arm, so I had to go even forward to zoom in. So I hardly ever zoomed in like that. It's one of those games that they're obsessed with motion controls. This being a launch title, they were obsessed with motion controls, so everything's motion controls. Even the menu is motion controls. You have to select your file by dragging it in with motion controls. It's a bit silly, but it's kind of adorable at the same time because they're excited, you know. I think the game does a good job introducing you to the motion controls using the tutorial of looking at certain fish in the fish tank.
Oh, I love the one on the right. Oh, wow! I hadn't seen the one in the left corner. And this one on the extreme right, see?
So even opening doors is motion controls, so you have to do that with the nunchuck to open the door. Sometimes it doesn't react in time and you're doing this, but that's also reload, so you do that, it reloads but it doesn't open a door. It's also pick up weapons, so if there's a weapon on the ground and you just want to reload and you're over a weapon, you're picking up a weapon. You're opening a door, but you just want to reload. So you're doing this like a maniac. That's what playing the Wii is. I'm reloading. So the shooting controls were decent and passable, definitely passable. Despite the jank. There is definitely jank. As you go through the game, you encounter enemies that have to be defeated with sword fights.
Nothing personal, sir. But I can't let you go any farther.
And the game does a good enough job at first to convince you that you need to think like a sword fighter using the Wii remote. But eventually you discover the Wii waggle.
Hello. Yeah, I'll get 3 pizzas, pepperoni, meat lovey, and ham and pineapple.
When you defeat an enemy in a sword fight, you have the option of killing them.
Can't live with this failure. Let me die here.
Or sparing them, and sparing them earns you respect points, which you spend on learning new moves with the sword. But once again, you can just wee-waggle your way out of most sword fights, so I'd never used these special moves. But it's kind of cool that they offer an incentive to earn respect by sparing your enemies. So the sword fighting is, once again, it's passable. It's okay. So many times Scott puts away his gun and fights someone with a sword. It makes no sense, especially when his fiance's life is hanging in the balance. Being an Indiana Jones fan, of course, just shoot them. Why doesn't he just shoot them? I love how generous this enemy is with his time and life, being the subject of your tutorial while Isao is in the background giving you instructions how to kill him. So the voice acting with the main characters is pretty solid, except they show Japanese subtitles when the characters are speaking Japanese.
話したいことがいっぱいあるの。
落ち着きなさい。我が娘よ。元気だったか?
I suppose they wanted deaf people to be confused as well. The level design is great. It's fun to go through these levels, and the environmental damage aspect of the levels is great for a Wii game too. Like seeing concrete crumbling, and of course explosive machines, explosive barrels. I still don't understand why enemies in games just conveniently hide behind red barrels with explosive warning symbols on them. Example of enemy behind red barrel. Please don't shoot these barrels. When the action picks up, the enemies won't stop yelling at each other and you, which adds to the immersion.
I need support!
No, you need pants. There are some pretty entertaining bugs and glitches, but nothing game-breaking that I found.
I'll kill you!
Overall, the game looks good. For a game on the Wii, I keep saying that because the Wii isn't known for its power. especially because the Wii came out with the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Everything else was in HD, so the Wii was still standard definition. So the story has moved along through cutscenes, and the cutscenes take place as these graphic novel style, sort of like Max Payne did, but these are a lot more blurry and bad. The sound design is great. It's excellent. The guns sound realistic. The ricochets going backwards and forwards, and explosions, and the environmental damage sounds, and the people yelling and stuff. The music's kind of a bop too. There's this song that keeps playing that's like, I see you're very good. It's weird, man. But it's been in my head for days since recording the game and playing the game. It sticks in your head. The game is definitely not perfect, but it's not terrible either. I thought it was going to be an unplayable mess. It's definitely not what it's advertised in that trailer, but it's a lot more playable and finishable than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to give up because it just didn't work, but I didn't. There are times when the difficulty just ramps up, when you're feeling good and you're very good, and then you just die. I think it's the snipers. I think when enemies are snipers, they're just super duper accurate all of a sudden, and it's just like one-shot kills. So watch out for them snipers, which is realistic when you think about it, because a good sniper, finish your sentences. No. The checkpoints are pretty generous though, so that kind of balances it out. Be warned though, if you need to quit the game and you turn off the Wii without finishing a chapter, you're going to have to start at the beginning of the chapter, not at the last checkpoint. So I learned that the hard way. But the checkpoints are generous, as I said, so if you die, you don't have to go all the way back, which is good. It's a good thing. Because you're going to die. You're going to die. We're all going to die, aren't we? That's just what it is, Let's not get too existential. Gamers, we talk about games. The game is pretty linear. I like linear in my games. If you like linear, you'll like this game. You go through levels, you shoot people, and you come across a sword-wielding foe, and for some reason you put your gun away. And you waggle your way through the fight, and they die, or you spare them, and then you shoot more enemies. Rinse and repeat. But I can understand that turns off some people. People like more variety in their games. But if you like a linear sort of, I just want to go through the game and go through the story and do some missions where I shoot people and then I fight people with swords. Hey, here's a game for you. Hey, I'm getting to the end of the review now. Not long to go, people. Stay with me, yeah? Why don't you subscribe? Why don't you subscribe to my channel? Thanks. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. And anyone who hasn't subscribed, what's going on? It's simple. Just press the subscribe button. Thanks. Thank you. I'm not yelling. I'm not angry. Just disappointed. So yeah, overall, the game is jank. But is it too jank not to play it? No. It's not enough jank to give this one a miss. It's a game. If you like it, you like it. Man, I'm a good reviewer. So the controls work well enough to get you through the levels and to have moments when you feel good about shooting and you feel accurate, you feel like you're in the action. The sword fighting's alright, and if you want to take the sword fighting seriously and not just waggle your way through, it's up to you. The game kind of wants you to do that. It encourages you to do that. The game is pretty cheap too. And apparently the sequel improves on a lot of things as well. So I'll definitely pick that up and try it eventually. And I'll probably stream it on my Twitch channel. Sardonic_Pickle. Follow me.
Isn't it swiping more than once? I'm swiping more than once. Why isn't it swiping more than once? Is this motion controls or is that fucking motion controls? I'm a ninja. Break my Wii. Good.
I had fun with this game that I was waiting to hate. It gets a 6.5 out of 10 from me. Why? I don't know why. Because it's my chat. Subscribe.
Fuck you, Red Steel.